former President Jacob Zuma's application for lead prosecutor advocate Billy Downer's recusal has been postponed. Our reporter Karinsa Jagmohan is outside the court. Karinsa, good morning to you. We know that the state has granted this postponement, this very brief postponement, but insisting that the most ideal scenario would be to have an open court.
Indeed. Well, good day to you. We heard today from Judge Pitkun, from Zuma's attorney Dalian Mpofu, as well as the state's or the NPA's Wim Trengrove. It started, or rather the case today started with Dalian Mpofu coming to the virtual court and handing over a letter from Zuma's medical team which explains Zuma's absence from court proceedings today, but doesn't ideally state what ailments that the former president is suffering from, but does state that the former president requires procedures that have been delayed for 18 months now, and that is why he has been undergoing this sort of routine checkup. Now, what we understand is that this case will be postponed to the 9th and the 10th of September. Currently, Zuma's medical team, we understand from what Mpofu told the court, is meeting to complete the compilation of the medical report. That medical report will detail, and this was a very information that wasn't handed down by Mpofu, but he spoke about the medical report being negative or positive. Not much information in those statements he's making about what exactly the former president is suffering from in terms of his health. But from what we understand, that medical report is due to be handed over to the state by the 20th of August and will shed some more light on what would happen come the 9th of September when the court will then resume in another open court. But as well as on that day, they will then understand whether or not there will be further postponements required, and as well Judge Pitkun saying that the state will be able to employ their own medical practitioner to assess Zuma as well, following that medical report being handed over from Zuma's medical team. So at this stage, we will now await for or to see how Zuma's medical team handles the situation, when and if they will in fact surface that very important medical report by 20th August as promised, and on that day the state and really the court itself can make further decision as to what will exactly happen on the 9th of September.
A lot of focus, Karinsa, on the details of what may be in the medical report. We only caught a little bit of what this medical report could entail as Mr. Trengrove spoke about reading out a line that it's a problem that has been overlooked, so to say, for a period of 18 months. And then we heard the argument coming out of Mr. Mpofu, who was then saying that this is a matter of patient confidentiality. That's why not much information has been availed.
Indeed, as with every person, their medical records are confidence, and in this case, what the state's advocate, Wim Trengrove, told the court was that they've been kept in the dark with what has happened so far regarding Zuma's health, but also the court and Mr. Mpofu reminding them that, of course, this must be kept, or his medical state is a matter of confidentiality. But going forward as well, Wim Trengrove saying that it's hard to understand that this problem existed for 18 months. And then Mpofu rebutting and saying, of course, that this must have been further exacerbated by Zuma's incarceration. Judge Pitkun coming in also to that statement to say these issues will further be discussed once that medical report is actually handed over. Those details will be explained in the medical report as to what exactly Zuma has been ailing from, what procedures he requires going forward. There has been talk in the media of an incident much earlier, years ago, when Zuma was poisoned while on a trip abroad. His family, through the Jacob Zuma Foundation, saying that he is still recovering from those issues. But of course, we know that he has been through the courts for the better part of the past few years. and perhaps that must have also added further pressure to him. But of course, again, it is up to his doctors that will conduct the appropriate procedures and detail whether or not Zuma will be fit to stand trial. But as well as Trenggrove going on to say that a medical practitioner must be allowed to also examine Zuma to deem whether he'll be fit to come to court and stand trial. These will be more unpacked on the 9th of September once the state has in their hands that report and will be able to assess what the future of this case will look like.